So things get really deep when you look into the tiny hats and slavery. Yes, this was left out of the history books because guess who owns the history books? Those tiny hats over here. And when we look at who owned all the slaves and were the slave traders and the auctioneers, tiny hats. And who owned the newspapers? Tiny hats. And then who also created the division? Oh, I think you're starting to understand it. And then you also find about the exploitation of the slaves and how they treated people. Obviously, they're not going to tell anybody this part. And then it also gets interesting when you find out that the tiny hats were defending that they should stay slaves. Isn't that interesting? And people would say, no, that would never happen, really. Slave dealing was an extremely profitable business. And this is where it always ties back to the Rothschilds, like I've always talked about. Even Malcolm X talked about this. People should look into this.
And a Negro is not anti-Semitic when he says that the man who's exploiting him in his community is white, because it is a white man who owns all the stores. Now, is it an accident that these whites who own these stores are Jewish? If it's an accident, then the fact that he says the Jew on the corner is exploiting me isn't an anti-Semitic statement. It's just more descriptive of the man who's exploiting him.